Hi guys, my name is Jay. Welcome to the channel. And today just wanted to talk about a concept that I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of. So when people talk about self-love, okay, so what does that mean? I remember when I was going through my own healing journey, that aspect came up a lot, and I would always kind of wonder, well, what does it mean? What does it mean, this self-love thing? Okay. It wasn't until much later in my journey that I realized it was a fundamental part of my healing journey, and it really brought everything together, from everything that I was doing on the spiritual, energetic side to the physical side. And then when I kind of started to bring in concept of self-love, it's almost like my body started to react in a very positive way, and everything else that I was doing just became more powerful. So what is self-love? I mean, you guys have probably heard a lot from kind of, your internet gurus out there, and you hear people like, I always remember one guy that I followed for a very short while, and it was Jay Shetty, and he would talk about, the concept of self-love. And it's hard though, when you're going through the fire and you're very symptomatic and, you're having a lot of these challenges, and you're seeing all this content from people who, let's face it, I mean, they don't look like they've been through any major struggle in their lives. And I think that is, what I found difficult, when I was listening to people talking about, self-love, etc., when you could just see in their eyes, in their faces, that they'd had a very easy upbringing, that, they probably didn't have much trauma in their lives. They were coming from a place where self-love was a pretty easy concept. Let's be frank about it. And that kind of, made me realize that I didn't really need other people to take me through that journey in terms of self-love. This was something that I needed to work on myself. And if you guys have been on the channel and, you've been following me for about a year now, one thing I got to say to you guys is you are more powerful and more inspiring than many internet gurus and kind of elders and people that I have spoken. If you're still on this journey and you're still moving forward, then I respect you guys a hell of a lot more than the likes of your Jay Shettys and these kind of internet gurus who tend to recycle the same stuff. And as I say, you said, haven't really had a traumatic day in their lives. I'm not saying everybody has their own problems. I get it, but there are levels to this. And, a lot of the time, we tend to forget that. We tend to forget that what you're doing, the fact that you're still moving forward and that you're still waking up every day, I salute you guys. You are an inspiration. And, often when I was going through my journey, I would seek out often people who had a worse situation than me. Sounds kind of sad, but I'm sure you guys can relate. I would go into groups, I would speak to people who I felt were in a similar situation, if not worse, because the fact that they could continue and keep going, that gave me a lot of inspiration. So what this video is about is something that kind of came to me late in my healing journey, where else I was kind of looking for that kind of external validation and all that kind of stuff. I started to realize that I needed to start looking within. And I want to share today with you a very simple practice that helped me when it came to that aspect of self-love. And it's very easy to do, and it's very powerful. So bear with me. Okay, I know when you're going through this journey, it's very easy to be self-critical. A lot of the people that I work with, on a daily basis, this is a very big part of their healing and often a big blocker as well. When you do get sick, and especially if you've come from an environment where you're very kind of productive in your life, and you were always a high achiever, and you know, you have a lot of responsibilities around you, and you get sick, and all of that starts to weigh on your shoulders, together with the fact that people really don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand the challenges that you're facing every day. It's very easy to drop into that bucket of kind of, okay, well, you know, this is my fault. Become self-critical, start listening to that inner voice that's constantly there in the back of your mind. And that, as I've mentioned in a lot of my other videos, is putting your body into a state of fear. As I always say to you, your body's always listening to every single thing that you're doing, right? Every word that you speak, every action that you take, it's extremely important, especially when you're going on a healing journey, okay? So self-love is really important. When people talk about, you know, expressing love, I know that for some people it's very hard to kind of talk about this. Even the thought of talking about self-love and talking about love as a concept is foreign to some of you. Often people that have not experienced it much in their lives. And that can be to, you know, a wide variety of reasons: your upbringing, traumatic past, the fact that you've been let down by others. All these things can contribute to that inner critical voice, because eventually you'll start to think, well, maybe it's me. And I had to go through that journey, and it was one of the most difficult but rewarding parts of my journey. And I think if you just look at the world right now and you just have a look around in this kind of digital world where everybody's about kind of self-gratification, we have social media, and you know, when you even just look on social media and you look at these people, you know, when I kind of observe what's happening in the world, what I see is a lot of self-loathing and people who just really are looking for love and just looking for somebody to just hug them and be like, you know what, this is going to be okay. Because we've devolved into a society where fear has kind of taken over. And, you know, I've got a previous video about this where I talk about how fear and love, the two concepts, cannot exist at the same time. So when you are going through chronic illness, it's paramount. It's really important that you know, you are starting to use practices to practice self-love. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you today. So one very simple exercise that I think is going to help you guys is, when you get up in the morning or when you can find some quiet time, I just want you to just lie down, okay? And just put your hand on your heart. And you can either say this in your mind's eye, so you can either say it to yourself or you can whisper it. And I just want you to say, I love you. Okay, just very simple, okay? Now I just want you to repeat that over and over and over again, okay? If you feel uncomfortable with the sentence, I love you, use something else. It can be something as simple as, I'm here for you, or I'm okay, okay? By doing this, what we are doing is we are sending messages of safety to the nervous system, okay? Which is, as I always tell you, a big part of why you got ill in the first place, okay? We need to start balancing that nervous system. So sending messages of self-love, okay? It might seem silly when you're doing this and you're like, how is this going to help? But these messages start to seep into your subconscious, okay? By talking to your body, by talking to that energy, okay? You are calming it down. You are coming back to yourself. You are starting to provide comfort to that inner child that is very scared, right? That's probably been scared for a long time. And I want you to speak to yourself in the same way that you would speak to a small child, okay? Because that's what your nervous system understands. Your nervous system understands that type of language, okay? So just a very, very simple exercise here, guys. I want you to try it, okay? And I want you guys to know that, you know, if you've been supporting me on this channel, you're still with me, and, you know, if you feel like my videos are helping you, well, if anybody hasn't told you that they love you, I love you, because I respect you, and I absolutely am in your corner when it comes to this, because as I said, I've been through this. I understand the challenges. I know what it's like when you feel alone and you feel like life is passing you by. But this is often a time when you need to go within yourself, okay? You need to start looking within and stop looking for external validation, okay? I will do some more videos on this aspect, especially around a topic that I think will be interesting to some of you. It's focusing on kind of energy and energy vampires. A lot of the people that I work with are in very difficult situations where they don't have the right type of energy, they don't have the right type of environment, and you know, what do you do when you're kind of stuck in that situation? So look out for that video. That video will be coming out soon. But for now, I hope this practice helps. And please, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share it to anybody that you feel might need it. Otherwise, take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.